What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Redriveraviation. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day today. And today we have an insane announcement from Breeze Airways to evaluate for you guys. I really hope you guys are excited for today's video. We have an absolutely amazing aviation news video in store for you guys today, and I really hope you guys are excited for it. Welcome back to the channel. Thank you guys so much for stopping by today. Like I said, we have an absolutely insane announcement video for you guys, and I really hope you guys are excited for it. So disregard that. But with all that being said, everybody, let's not waste any further time and get into Breeze Airways' massive expansion for Q2, I guess if you want to call it that, Q2, Q3 of 2022. Unbelievable expansion. I was dumbfounded when I woke up to this the other morning. I'm sorry that this is a little late. I've been super busy with some band events and a lot of things going on in my life, so I'm a little sorry for the little inconsistencies, but we are here and I'm excited to evaluate it because, guys, it is an unbelievable expansion. And man, wow, it really shows what these low-cost carriers are capable of in 2022 and what they're going forward as we move into the stages of, I don't even know what you want to call a pandemic at this point. It is what it is, I guess. I don't know. But wow, okay. We're going to drive straight into the details. Breeze Airways, 35, I think new routes, 30 or 35. It is unbelievable, and we're not going to waste any further time. We're going to jump into each and every one of them. We're going to talk through it, and we're going to be reading the Simple Flying article because there's a lot of good details in here, and kind of just go piece by piece. So here we go. Breeze reveals first transcontinental routes and huge network expansion. Subtitle of Breeze has added a huge amount of new service, involving 10 new airports, transcontinental operations, and the A220. Wow, this aircraft's going to make a difference, man. It's going to be unbelievable. Article by James Pearson, and here's an awesome picture here by Breeze of the Breeze A220-300, looking absolutely beautiful. Breeze has added 30 new nonstop routes involving 10 brand new airports. They supplemented by new nonstop services between existing airports such as Hartford to Akron Canton, Hartford to Richmond, Columbus to Providence, and Providence to Richmond. Breeze currently uses the 96 seat Embraer 190 and 118 seat Embraer 195s with 126 seat Airbus A220-300 to enter service soon. I did not know that it was that small. I thought it was more like 130, 140, but 126 makes sense, which is crazy. Its A220s will play a critical role in routes mentioned below, including 36 seats in the nicest, 10 in the nicer, and 80 in the nice economy. Its A220s will feature in-flight connectivity via using Viasat equipment from October, especially useful on transcontinental services. Yes, so this is kind of a weird place to start, so I'm sorry that's kind of a little bit all over the place, but 30 brand new routes in a really cool mesh of routes. Some of them I'm on the fence about, others I think are pretty solid. And then into their fleet, the Airbus A220, man, we'll talk about more throughout this video. The airplane's going to be a unit for everybody that chooses to use it. I'm a huge fan of the Airbus A220. I really like its versatility, the flexibility, the fuel efficiency, just the whole makeup of the aircraft. Bombardier into Airbus did a fantastic job doing such, and I'm really excited to see what's to come for that. So that's going to be crazy. And yes, it's just crazy. These routes, I mean, what can I even say at this point? So, wow. Okay. So the 10 brand new cities to join the network for Breeze. With 10 airports joining the network, Breeze will serve 28 airports countrywide. The most exciting in its foray in the West with Las Vegas, Los Angeles, San Bernardino, I think I said that kind of right, I'm not completely sure, and San Francisco to be served. The 10 new destinations are Fort Myers, Florida, Jacksonville, Florida, Las Vegas, Nevada, Los Angeles, California, Nashville, Tennessee, Santa Bernardino, California, San Francisco, California, Sarasota, Florida, Savannah, Georgia, and Syracuse, New York. Wow. What a lineup for these two new cities. We'll talk about them a little bit more each in depth throughout the routes. I'm a really big fan. There is some things to note. That city, Santa Bernardino, that's its first airline service. That's a bigger cargo airport. It's east of Ontario. That's really, really cool. So that's a big highlight right there. So Breeze will be brand new to that airport. It's just dumbfounding to see Las Vegas, Los Angeles, and San Francisco in here. And this is into all of the big airports as well. These are not to any smaller airports. These are the legit airports, which is really cool. Massive Florida expansion with Fort Myers, Jacksonville, and Sarasota. I really like the choice, and I think they're going to do really well going after it and competing with some other carriers. Savannah, Georgia, I think is another really cool city that they're going to be able to attack as well. There's a big market in that Georgia area for mainly tourism, but also a little bit of business too, so that's going to be awesome. Nashville, Tennessee, the music city, I think will also be a really good ad, so I'm excited to see how they do with that. And lastly, Syracuse, New York. Syracuse is a great town. I think a lot of people want to travel down south for the holidays, so I think it's going to be awesome. So here they go into detail about San Eduardo, an aircraft well known for its cargo and aircraft storage, which they're also big on that as well, is the biggest surprise. It has no scheduled passenger service. Located about 24 miles east of Ontario, it will now be connected to nonstop to San Francisco. A good example of how Breeze is creating brand new market strategies. Crazy. I'm so excited for San Eduardo. That's going to be crazy. Super excited. Here's a graphic of the map. I think it speaks for itself. Just evaluating it, you can just see all of the purple, which is new routes, especially on the west side of the United States, which is crazy. In Las Vegas, especially, as we'll dive into, it's crazy to see all these new routes, but also peep San Francisco and Los Angeles just going super strong. You're also going to see a lot of pink from the northeast to the southeast. That includes routes to, obviously, from Providence, Hartford, and Richmond and Norfolk down to Tampa, Sarasota, Fort Myers. It's so exciting, man. Wow, it's going to be crazy. But I mean, just looking at this map, man, dumbfounded. So as you can tell, I see more purple than I do blue. It's just simply, the way to put it is there's more routes in this expansion than what they currently have, which is crazy. They're just going for it all, and I just am dumbfounded, man. I seriously can't grasp the concept, man. There's so many routes, man, and it's just crazy to see how fast their network's growing. Wow, that is unbelievable. Goodness. Okay, that's the route map, and it is absolutely incredible to say the least. The 30 new routes from the 10 new airports as well. Despite being new airports, the amount of connecting the dots with Breeze's existing network is enormous. It helps drive various economies, including markets and, in Europe at least, better airport deals. It also helps predict where it might go next, especially if an airport can feasibly sustain multiple routes. Very good points. I completely agree with that. And again, it's just going to be really exciting to see what Breeze can do here. It's going to be crazy. Like many new entrances, Breeze mainly focuses on unserved markets. Of the 30 routes, only 13% have direct competition, including with Silver Airways between Jacksonville and New Orleans at 514 miles. It is a long route for Silver's ATRs. It has a block time of 2.5 hours, but it's 45 minutes quicker with Breeze. Silver will probably end the route. Very good valuation there. I mean, that's a long flight, man. That is a really long flight. So Breeze coming in here, and they're gonna steal some show, man. They're gonna steal some show times. Crazy. Some routes appear to be bookable for only a short time. Example, Jacksonville to Las Vegas, San Francisco to San Francisco, Las Vegas to Huntsville, Las Vegas to Norfolk. Worry not. It's because of the flights for all routes are currently bookable until September 6th. So some of the start dates are a little bit later than others. That's why they're only bookable for such a period of time. But wow, these 30 routes, guys, unbelievable. The majority of this is A220 stuff. I think we may see a couple of Embraer 195s and 90s on some of these at some point, but anticipate most of these to be Airbus A220 service, which is going to be crazy. One by one, here we go. And I'm just going to give you guys my blunt thoughts on all of them. Again, some of them I'm on the fence about. Others I think are really good. So you guys are just going to get the honest opinion. So here we go. Jacksonville to Richmond is the first route that will begin on May 19th, 2 weekly. First off, welcome Jacksonville to the Breeze Network. I think it's going to be a really cool destination. Obviously, you do have some competition from some other airlines. Delta and JetBlue are the first that come to my mind, a little bit American too. But I do think that they'll be able to sustain really well in Jacksonville. Richmond's an interesting choice for a route. I do think that it does have a lot of potential. And I'm excited to see what they're going to be able to do with it. This is a 2 weekly service. I do think that this is one of their better or one that it's a decent choice. It's an average choice. I personally think that it will do pretty decent. We'll just have to see. I'm kind of on the fence about it, but it's definitely better than some of the other ones. San Francisco to Richmond begins May 25th, 2X weekly. So welcome San Francisco. So excited to have San Francisco, but in the connotation of Richmond, Virginia. I think the O&D on this route's decent. I think it's somewhere in the ballpark of like probably 75 to 150. So, or actually maybe more like 50 a day. But I do think the O&D's there. I do think people are going to find it and use the route, definitely. I honestly think that they probably would have been better off maybe competing on a different route, maybe. You could have even done like San Francisco to Charlotte, Raleigh-Durham, that sort of thing. I still think that it's a solid choice. It's kind of there with Jacksonville to Richmond. I think it's just another solid one. I think there probably was a better launch destination for San Francisco, but we'll take it. It's going to be very interesting, and that's going to be one of their very first long flights. That's probably a 4.5 hour block or so, which is crazy. But we'll be eager to see how that does. Nashville to Akron, Canton. So welcome Nashville to the network as well. This is May 26th for weekly. I think the Music City definitely has a bunch of potential. I think a lot of people will utilize tourism and that sort of thing. Akron's an interesting choice. 4X weekly is a lot. I think it should have been 2 as well. I don't like the frequency choice. I think the route's okay. I think I'm just going to start getting levered grades. I think I'm going to give it a C. I think it's a decent route, but I don't know how well it's going to do. One route that I'm really happy with is San Francisco to Charleston. This is a really good choice. This is May 26th, 3X weekly. Charleston's a huge market for tourism. I think a lot of people are going to want to utilize that over to San Francisco. I definitely think this is one of the better choices of the whole network. I don't think it's perfect, but I think it's a really solid choice. I really am excited to see how this will sustain, and hopefully it'll be booked really well. I'm going to give this a B. That's a pretty gosh darn good pick. I actually will give Nashville to Akron C-. Nothing personal against those two cities, just the route itself probably isn't quite there. Jacksonville to Columbus, May 27th, 2X weekly. This I could definitely see panning out. Columbus, a lot of people in that region, not quite to the Midwest, but not quite to the East, will want to go on vacation. So like the Ohio area, Kentucky, Missouri, that sort of thing. That area really likes to go to areas like Charleston. I think this is a really good pickup for Breeze. I'm going to give this a B+. That's a really good route right there, and I'm really happy. Borderline A. That's really, really good. Jacksonville to Norfolk, May 27th, they have 2X weekly competition with Allegiant. This is not another bad route. I think this is decent. I probably need to look at how Allegiant does with it. I think it's a decent choice. I'm not sure if it's the best one in the book. This is probably another C grade. C, I'll give it a C+. There is people in that Norfolk area that probably want to come down to Jacksonville, and there may be a little bit of business on that too. So I will give a B+ on that. That's not a horrible choice. And yeah, Norfolk's obviously a base, so that works well for the cruise and everything. So excited to see how that will pan out. Jacksonville to Providence, May 27th, 2X weekly. This is a monumental W. A lot of people in that Northeast region. I'm not to get like I'm trying to think of the best way to put it, but a lot of people in that area have a good amount of money to spend, and they would be willing to fly something like that. That was probably the best way to word it. There is people up there that will definitely want to take advantage of that, and I do think that it has a lot of potential. Providence is a great area, and I think a lot of people want to go down to Jacksonville. That's going to go to the A-. I really like that pickup for Breeze. I think that frequency could definitely be increasing. Well done, Breeze. That was a really good pickup right there on Jacksonville to Providence. San Francisco to Louisville, May 27th, 2X weekly. Richmond's a little bit better, but Louisville, I don't think the O&D's even. I think it's a little bit lower, at least it may be significantly lower. I think it's okay. I don't think it's great. I think they could have picked something better. I think they definitely could have picked something like. I'm not here to be biased, but Tulsa's traffic for San Francisco is really good. It's like 100, or pardon me, it's like I think 80 or 90 a day right now, which is a lot back and forth. Louisville, maybe it's there. I really haven't looked enough to confirm, so maybe it's a little bit better than what I anticipated, but that's still, I don't know, maybe. We'll see. I'm going to give this pick A C. I think it's decent, but I think they probably could have done something a little bit better. I think they could have did maybe St. Louis or even Columbia, Kansas City, something like that. But Louisville, we'll see how it goes. Hopefully well, but that's going to be interesting. Jacksonville to New Orleans, May 30th, 2X Weekly, direct competition with Silver. I think they will blow Silver out of the water. The route itself, I think, is decent. I think there's a decent amount of traffic. It's kind of like the Jacksonville to Richmond. It's another one of those. It's like, okay, I guess. I think it definitely has potential, and I am eager to see how it will do. I will give it a C+. I think it's slightly better than some of the others, but not a horrible route. Nashville, Tulsa, June 2nd, 2X Weekly. As a Tulsa guy, you guys know I'm going to be excited for this. I think we definitely probably could have. I think Charleston would have been a better pickup for us, but I still think that Nashville's decent. Allegiant did have this route, and they started during the pandemic. They ended up ending it. They shouldn't have started it, in my opinion, but I think it has potential. I like the frequency. It will be an A220 service from what I know. I think it will have potential to do well. I think it's possible. But from a non-biased opinion, I'm going to give it a C. I don't think it's the best pickup in the world, but I think it's decent. I'm not C+. I'll give it a C+. I think it's okay, but I think Charleston would have been for sure a B, maybe an A, but we'll see. Nashville to Hartford, June 2nd, 4X Weekly direct competition with Southwest. The route itself is really good. I think a lot of people fly it. The only problem is you're going to compete with Southwest, and that's going to be hard. I think the frequency is really pushing it. I need to look at Southwest's how they do with it. I think it has potential. I'm going to give it a B-. I think it's a pretty solid route. The competition, if there was no competition, I would have gave it a B+, but Southwest has it. So, and the frequency and all, I will give it a B-. It's a decent route. I'm eager to see how it will do. A lot of people like to go from north to southeast. Jacksonville to Hartford, June 3rd, 4X Weekly. Monumental W. That's another very good route. Very similar to the Jacksonville to Providence service. A lot of people in that area are going to want to come down. I think it's going to do really well. I think maybe they should have did 3X Weekly for both since they're kind of close to each other, but I think it will work very well. That's going to be a B+. That's another really good route. I think it's going to do really well, and I'm excited to see how they will do with that route. I think it's going to be really good. Nashville to Oklahoma City, June 3rd, 2X Weekly direct with Southwest Saturday only. That route for Southwest, by the way, was daily till the pandemic, but outside of all that, Breeze, it interests me because they pick a lot of cities in the same area and fly to that destination. Tulsa and Oklahoma City, Nashville. They did it with Tampa, New Orleans, and San Antonio for Fayetteville, Tulsa, Oklahoma City. You obviously see Providence and Hartford going to Jacksonville, and we'll even see more examples. I think they're pushing it with this. I really do. I think it could work, but I think that they're not quite established enough to do that yet. But we'll see how it goes. But personally, I think they're pushing it, and I don't think it's quite the right move. Now, with that being said, I still think that this route particularly is good. Southwest has shown interest, and I think they've done well. I think a 2X Weekly frequency is a good number for them. And I do think that it has potential. So with that being said, C+ again. Well, Southwest has Saturday only. I'll still go C+. I think it's still a good route. The O&D is pretty good. I do think that people will fly it, so excited to see how it does. Savannah to Hartford. Welcome Savannah to the network. June 3rd, 4X Weekly. That's a W. I'm going to give that, I'm going to go as far as an A-. Jacksonville's good, but I think Savannah's slightly better. I think that a few more people will try Savannah just because of how big it is in the Northeast. I know a lot of people like to go down there. I'm really excited to see how this does. No competition, of course. I think the closest you could get is probably one of the New York airports, and I think Breeze has this in the bag. That's an A-. Really good pickup right there. Really proud with that. Savannah to Providence. This is June 3rd, 2X Weekly. Nice job, Breeze, on cutting the frequency down a little bit. I like that a lot, and I do think that Hartford's a little bit more popular than Providence, so W. I want to give you another A-. That's really good. I would almost say I want to say I'm close to A for both of these. We're going to say A-. I think it's a really good route, and I'm really excited for it. I think it's going to do really well. And then Savannah to Columbus, June 4th, 2X Weekly. Same story. A lot of people in that Ohio area really like to go to that area. Myrtle Beach, Savannah, Jacksonville, all that area. Pretty much that whole coastline right there. People love to go to it. And this is just another W. This is another A- pickup for Breeze. I'm really excited to see how this does. I'm pretty sure that United Express had a route into Hilton Head over the summer, and I think it did really well. I think they overfilled it several times, or overbooked it many times from what I heard. So I'm really excited to see how this does. That's an A- pickup for Breeze. Really excited to see that. Sarasota, Hartford, June 4th, 2X Weekly. That's another W. That's another A- pickup. Good job, Breeze. I know some of those routes up there were a little on the fence, but picking up these routes down here on the bottom, going from the north to east to the southeast, is going to make you money. And that's what I like to see. I really feel like Sarasota is a great place, and I feel like they're going to have tremendous success at Sarasota. The frequency, I'm kind of surprised it didn't go 4, but hey, we'll take it. 2X Weekly, I think it's going to do super well. That's a big A-, and I'm really happy to see how they see them go for this. It's going to be exciting. Las Vegas to Richmond, June 9th, 2X Weekly. JetBlue had the service, and they cut it. It's an interesting service. Same boat as San Francisco. I think it's possible to have success. But if JetBlue ended it, and I mean, the market for them, though, was different. I'm going to give them a C+. It's a decent pickup, but I think they probably could have even did like Las Vegas to Charlotte or something, or Raleigh-Durham or something like that, or maybe even Nashville. I think Richmond's still a good city, but I don't think it's quite there, but we'll see how it goes. Syracuse, welcome to the network. First service for them is going to be Las Vegas, June 10th, 2X Weekly. Really interesting route. I thought it was going to be Tampa and Charleston, and they got Charleston, of course, but I'm really eager to see how it goes. And also, welcome to Las Vegas. I completely forgot to... All right, yeah, I think I did acknowledge that. I'm sorry. It's just crazy to see Breeze on the West Coast. It's crazy, man. But I think they're going to do really well with it. Sorry, but Las Vegas to Syracuse. I think the O&D is decent. I think they have some decent potential with it. I think 2X Weekly is the frequency to go with. I'm going to give him 80% on the dot. I guess a B-, because I think it's there. I think it has potential. I think the O&D is decent. I don't know if it's quite the best route, but I think it's got potential. I like to see it. We'll see how it goes. Syracuse to Charleston, on the other hand, June 10th, 2X Weekly. That's an A-. That's an A. That's an A, man. Charleston's a unit, man. And they're going to do really well with that Syracuse service. A lot of people are going to want to go down there. Feel like it's going to fill up really well. Good on Breeze, too. There's, I think, 3 airlines serving Tampa to Syracuse. So going after Charleston, I really like it. I think they're going to succeed super well. Well done. Super excited for what's to come. Fort Myers to Charleston, June 11th, 2X Weekly. Now, obviously, these are two very good climate destinations, but for the locals in Charleston that want to go to Sarasota, I think it's still a really good pickup. I will go with the B- tier. I don't think it's an elite pickup, but I think it's still a solid pickup. So well done, and I'm excited to see how that goes. Fort Myers to Las Vegas, June 11th, 2X Weekly. Sorry, guys. My voice is dying on me, but it has been insane to see these type of links being connected. The O&D on some of these services are really good, and I think this is another really solid route here. I really like this pickup. I think it's going to do really well. I'm going to give it a B+. I'm really excited to see how it performs. Kind of surprised like Spirit or Frontier didn't already pick it up, but Breeze is going to pick it up, and they're going to rock with it. Really excited to see how it does, and I think it has a lot of potential. Los Angeles is into the market. How Breeze got slots at LAX and San Francisco, honestly, it blows my mind, but they did. Congratulations. Really excited to see how it goes. The inaugural destination on June 29th will be the Providence 2X Weekly. I think the O&D is decent. I think there's definitely people that are going to utilize it. It's a very interesting choice. I'm really excited to see how it goes. And with that being said, I think it's a B. I think it's a solid pickup. I think they probably could have did something a little bit better with it. I think even do they have Charleston? No, not yet. But I think there's definitely potential. I'm excited to see how it goes. It's going to be very interesting. It's going to be crazy. Norfolk as well, June 30th, 2X weekly. This is definitely a little bit lower than Providence. I think it's still a decent route, but probably not the best one in the book. I like C+. I think the O&D is decent. Breeze got to advertise, man. They have to advertise. They got to push it. They got to have sales. They got to make the money, man. So I'm eager to see how it's going to go, but it's going to be interesting. Really excited. I was almost about to say B-. I think it has potential. It's going to be very interesting. We'll see how it unfolds. Los Angeles to Savannah, July 1st, 2X weekly. I think Savannah's a little bit better than Norfolk in terms of this type of route. Well, yeah, they're about the same. I hate to say C+ again, but I think that's probably about the range. It's just such a long flight, and honestly, I think people would probably start with Atlanta or Charlotte before they get the service to Savannah, but maybe it's very interesting. I'm really excited to see how it does. It's going to be crazy, but what a route for Savannah, Norfolk, and Providence. That's a link to the Los Angeles area, man. That's crazy. So excited to see how that does. Savannah to Norfolk, July 1st, 2X weekly. This is very similar to the Norfolk, Jacksonville, I believe. I think it's a decent route. I don't know if it's the best one I've ever seen. And with that said, it's going to be a C+. I think it has, C+. I think it has potential, but it's just a little short, and we'll just see. But yeah, it'll probably be okay. Jacksonville to Las Vegas, 2X weekly. This is another crazy route. I think it has potential. I think the O&D is decent. I think Jacksonville LAX is a little bit higher. Kind of surprised they didn't try to go with LAX. With that said, I think it's going to go C+. I think it's a solid route. I'm eager to see how it does. It's going to be crazy. I'm just going to be blunt. This is probably the worst route, in my opinion. Las Vegas to Huntsville, August 4th, 2X weekly. Huntsville, this is a very cool connection. Don't get me wrong. This is probably the coolest connection at the airport to have Las Vegas service. Huntsville's a small town in the middle of Alabama, man. It is small. Really small. There's a reason, I hate to say it like this, but there is a reason that Southwest and Frontier and Allegiant have not tried this route yet. The O&D is probably pretty low, and I don't think it's quite there. With that said, however, I think it's a cool route. I think it's possible to see success, but you got to promote you have to promote the absolute everything out of it, and it's going to take a lot to make that happen. I hate giving the rating I'm going to give, but from the knowledge I have, and I could be wrong, so bear with me before I say my rating. I am going to give Las Vegas to Huntsville. I am going to give him a D+. I really don't want to because I think it's a really cool route. I just unfortunately don't think the O&D is there. That's like saying Tulsa to Kalispell, Montana, pretty much. I mean, it's just that. Well, Tulsa, Kalispell, probably not. That's kind of like Tulsa to. That's kind of like. What's a good way to put that? That's kind of like Tulsa to Hartford, kind of. But anyway, I still think it has potential. It's going to be crazy, but that's quite a route. Cynthia DeMarco, welcome the final new route or final new airport to San Francisco for August 4th, 1X daily. I guess there should be a big demand for that. I think LAX, Ontario, Burbank, Long Beach, Orange County, all those airports have huge strides to San Francisco. So I think this is going to be utilized really well. I think they got some really good data on how that worked. 1X daily is a lot, but I'm sure the demand's there. I think they were prepared going into this. And with that said, this is going to be a B. This is just a solid B pickup. I think it's going to do really well, and it's really cool to see that airport have commercial service. Excited to see how they'll get the passenger terminal build and everything, but I'm really excited to see how that goes down. And last but certainly not least, Las Vegas to Norfolk, August 5th, 3X weekly. I think this is a little bit better. I think it's just pretty much like Jacksonville. There's a decent amount of traffic for it, but I think it's going to be interesting. Also, keep in mind LAX getting the nonstop as well, so it's going to be interesting to see how it goes down. And with that said, C+. C+ is my rating. I think it's a fair rating. It's crazy. But I think that makes the most sense, and I think that's just the logistics of what it brought. So, yes, guys, this route expansion was unbelievable. There are some super interesting services. The best route, in my opinion, if I had to pick, I mean, there's a lot of northeast to southeast that are really good. This is a tough choice. The worst route, I hate to say it, but it's Huntsville, Las Vegas. It's probably not going to do very well. Syracuse, I think, even has a little bit more demand. That's saying something. With that said, though, I would say all northeast and southeast. That's pretty much the one down. But man, guys, what an expansion. I mean, I'm just dumbfounded. The West Coast ops is crazy. I mean, Las Vegas and Redfin may fly right over me all the time. And Las Vegas to Providence, too. I'm so excited to see how this unfolds, guys. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be so crazy to see Breeze flying transcontinental services. I think some of these have a lot of potential. I think others, though, it's going to be really interesting. But I'm really excited to hear your guys' thoughts, so please let me know in the comment section. I think, I mean, you guys heard it. Some of these are just flat out A minuses, and they're super good A's and A minuses. Others are just C's. I mean, they're average routes, but I think they have potential. Breeze, if you're watching this, I know you're not, but if you are, push these routes on social media. Pay for advertising. You got to get these routes out there. I think people are there. You just got to get them on board. And once you get them on board, they'll start telling their friends. They'll start coming back. And that's how you're going to make your money. You've seen all the success out of Tampa. You've seen all the success out of Charleston. This is go time. I'm really excited to see how this unfolds. It's going to be crazy. I think there's a lot of potential. I think there's a lot to look forward to. It's crazy, but I'm really excited for what's to come. It's going to be insane, and I'm really, really excited for it. The A220 just provides such an asset, man. None of this is possible without the A220, and I'm really, really excited to see how it's going to be utilized. This really makes me excited for the future as well, just to see so many more new routes. I think the north, central, and northwest regions are definitely going to be seeing new routes. I think Chicago's on deck, and maybe a place like Omaha, Nebraska, Sioux Falls, South Dakota, Fargo, maybe Bismarck, Minneapolis, Des Moines, St. Louis, Kansas City, Denver, Salt Lake City, Phoenix, maybe even like places like Reno, Tahoe, Eugene, Oregon, Seattle, Washington, Boise, Idaho, Kalispell, Montana, Cheyenne, Wyoming. I mean, the list goes on. Albuquerque, New Mexico. I mean, everywhere. San Diego, California. Sorry, guys. But I'm so excited, and I really hope you guys are as well. I'm going to be absolutely insane, but I'm really excited for what's to come, and I really hope you guys are as well. Feel free to leave me comments in the comment section what an expansion this was. I know this was a long video. I'm sorry. I just want to go through every route because there's so much connotation. But I'm really, really glad that we were able to evaluate it today, and I really hope you guys enjoyed it. So with all that being said, everybody, one expansion from Breeze, simplifying article linked below. Let me know what you think in the comment section. I'll be super excited to hear about Breeze going after it all. And I'm really excited to see how they do. So with all that being said, everybody, thank you guys so much for watching today's video. My name is Redriveraviation. I'd like to thank you guys so much for watching. Take it easy, everybody. Stay safe in this process. Do what you love and love what you do. My name is Redriveraviation. I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys soon as Redriveraviation is signing off.